Now, don't be distraught. I know when I came across this body of research, I was dumbfounded because I started thinking back to everything I did, and I started looking back. Everything I did was blocked. I even remember writing IEP accommodations into IEPs where I said chunk the problems together. So block practice is already there. We have to give kids this opportunity for interleaving practice. And this is very, very important that we do because it is very, very effective. It has a strong effect size of 0.44. So if you want kids to retain what you're teaching beyond that test, we've got to give kids some interleaving practice opportunities. Another study, again, clearly shows the difference. So math practice or block practice will give you better results in the short term. But in our day and age in education, we have to help kids retain this information across time. And that is a huge difference. And what you can see here is as you go farther and farther out, you see the block practice fades. They just lose everything. Where interleaving is basically maintained. Now, when we look at this here, how do we plan and implement this? Well, the first thing that has to happen is you need to list out your skills and concepts by month. So use your curriculum map, get into that chapter. What are the kids learning by month? Then you need to start looking at the problems and identifying which 3 or 4 are dissimilar and then grouping them together in 9 to 12 problem sets. So there's a planning document here. You feel free to modify this to suit your situation. But essentially, you got to, in grade level teams or course by course, that's how I like to do this. You kind of sit down and, all right, what are we learning in what skills are we learning in August, September, October? Which ones are we going to group together and so forth? I kind of like the all IPF to be about a month delayed. So whatever you teach in August and September, you IPF in October and November. So you're kind of delaying because you're sort of leveraging a little spacing in there and you're delaying it. IPF, I kind of like IPF to be after the test. So you teach a chapter, that's all going to be very related topics. You test, now all of those topics can then be eligible for IPF. So what it looks like here is I like teachers to start thinking about trying to do 2 to 3 IPF opportunities per month, starting in that second month of school. In class, these will probably take 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the grade level, a little shorter at the elementary, a little longer in high school. Sometimes you can assign on Monday, collect on Friday, computer practice, if you can control the sequence. That's the key, is you got to look at the sequence. A little teacher tip that I've learned through teachers is if the programs you have has a quiz making feature or a test making feature, that's usually where you can control the sequence. You could do this in homework. I don't have to tell you the advantages and disadvantages of homework. Who's going to do it? Who's not going to do it? Are they going to get help? So some of the studies did it in homework. So it's viable, but again, what's your situation? It's one job I was in, we had 0 homework, almost 0 parental involvement. Homework was really not an option. Another setting I was in, I had like 95% homework completion. So depending on your setting is how you can do it. So the first thing that you're going to do, like I said, is you want to list the problem by month. So this would be a good time to start sort of listing it by month, have your pacing guide. The reason I say by month and not by chapter is often in the chapter, they're too similar. We've got to get them to be dissimilar.